Ooh, swing batter, batter,
I love that theme.
Oh, yeah, right? Well, everybody, welcome into Out of Rhythm, Spitting Seeds edition. Yeah. Well, I'm your host, Jamie. We got Donovan on the other side, and a very, very special guest. Welcome to Eli, who was never on the show. So,
I'm flanked by greatness here. I got Jay in the middle, Donovan on the end. This will be fun, boys.
Right?
Sounds like a wonderful sandwich.
Yeah, it's a Miller sandwich, I tell you. But yes, guys, it's been right. It's been a minute. Yeah, we haven't had a show for a week, so all of us been pretty busy. Donovan has been helping out his mom. Hopefully, his mom is doing well and recovering.
She's hanging in there now, so we'll just say she's par at the moment. So that's we'll take that.
Well, that's good. That's all we care about now is making sure people are staying living nowadays. But yeah, oh god dang, dude, we have a lot to talk about. That's for sure. I mean, well, before we all get crazy far, make sure you guys, if you guys haven't, make sure you get up on our Discord. It's I keep actually forgetting to put it in our description so people can just click on it and whatnot. But it's just kind of one of those things where you get going, you don't think of that, and you're just trying to all that goody stuff. But hey, Eli, where else can they find us?
Oh boy. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm told. Yeah, you can find us a couple different places. And if you can't get enough, you can always come to South Dakota or Wisconsin and visit any of the three of us, and we'll have tea and crumpets. We'll have a big celebration. But before we do that, before we show some love in person, you gotta subscribe, and go listen to us any of these outlets. I heard it's pretty good.
Yes, that is correct, man. Thank you, Eli. Oh, so Eli,
I want my cookie. I want my cookie.
You want your cookie? Okay, here I'll air mail it to you. Check your door. So Eli, how was right? So Eli, how was your first week of baseball in your 20-man? Overall thoughts?
Oh man, I got killed. I'll take my whipping. I'm like Old Yeller. I was misbehaving, and now I'm in the doghouse for the week. But I'll take my beating, come back, and well, of course Donovan. He's very that's what I mean. Every time I come out of football, I took a slacking from Chad. In one of our leagues, and I had to come on here and say, yeah, you whooped my ass. Now, Chad, I'm looking right at you. Where are you at in the camera? You whooped my ass, okay? Beat down city. But I did a little my little whiteboard here. As you can see Donovan wins. Yep. See, I figured I would have a strong bullpen because that's how I drafted. Obviously offense is, I need to improve there, but saves I had a pretty good margin. The whip I had a pretty good margin. So a lot innings, a lot of the pitching categories were very close. He got me in the offense, so I need to pick up total bases. I need some help with homers and RBIs, and so just more of the offensive categories. But yeah, it was I'm not going to overreact to 1 week. It's 1 week. There's a full season. 19th out of 20. I mean, that sounds bad, but 2 months from now, that I might be I might be 8th or 9th. So you never know. But I don't know. How about you guys? How was your first week in the 20 man?
Well, in the Joe Rogan one, I actually won 12-4, which I was happy about because in that league, I'm all gung ho to finish first in that league. But in our actually league, I actually finished. I think it was like 6 and something. I think it was. Let me double check here real quick. I finished 7th and 9th, so it was. I mean, it was a little. I had a few guys here and there. I had a couple guys that got injured. Had Gallo who got injured, which that was all right. A lot of my pitching wasn't too bad. Sandoval had a good outing. Ended up I don't know Tyler Anderson. God, I'm kind of iffy on him now because he didn't look too great here this last pitching. I picked up a rookie, when Wes Nesky. I picked him up, so he's kind of the Cubs rookie. But Jeffrey Springs is a huge help. So a lot of my guys just are. And they're not. I don't have really any aces for my pitching, but my batting, I could have probably done a little bit better overall drafting. Donovan.
Well, yeah. So I had a pretty good week overall. I cannot complain. The
Chad says I'm channeling Stan Marsh in his basement right now. Now hearing Eli say that.
Yeah, I had a pretty good overall week. I am in 13 leagues, I believe, overall, and I won in my matchup in every redraft.
13 leagues.
I'm
Good
in
God.
13.
That's a YouTube short right there. My reaction to all your damn leagues. 13 leagues.
Jamie sucked me into 3 of them. And so the points, the Rogan, and the fielders. So
yeah,
I started out on the plus side on all those. I have 2 long-time ESPN leagues that I was able to. My long-time keeper league there came out with a 9-1 victory first week in head-to-head, so that's awesome. And I'm the defending champion, so that's really important to get off on a good start there.
Oh, most definitely.
Considering our draft penalties for taking first and keeping 10 and whatever. So that was a really good feeling.
Yeah.
I started off my week in the Barry Baker 30 team league with I am currently, as of yesterday, I'm 9-2 in 3rd place. So that's awesome, but that's going to be short lived. My offense, I just hit a good stretch in schedule. I think I have 12th most points, so I should lose a few here, but and then I have I won on my 16 man, and the only then TGFBI I'm sitting in 8th, and I'm in a 3-sport dynasty that I lost my first 2 matchups, and but I built for the future there. I bought the Jackson Cheerios and the I got all the prospects. So I'm running on fumes on the. My first pitcher that I was able to capture on a steal was Cole Irvin, so you know where I'm at.
Eli, are you playing in your brother's league at all, or were you? I wasn't sure.
That'd be news to me if I was. I'll have
to. I wasn't sure. I thought I'd ask, but I wasn't quite sure.
Well, it would probably help. Honestly,
no.
And I'm just doing the head-to-head stuff. I mean, would it help to do, expand a little bit? I just, honestly, I didn't have the time that I could put into, and I have nothing but respect for Donovan and other guys that can, like you, Jay, you guys can put in. But I just felt like, 1 or 2 leagues was about, to get back in, because it's been 5 or 6 years since I've been doing the baseball stuff. So
you're safe doing that.
Yeah. I'll get smoked. I'll get smoked here and there, just kind of catching up on things. But points leagues, dynasty, that'll come with time. But yeah, so I'm just doing the head-to-head stuff right now. But I'll have to double check about my brother's league. But it wouldn't hurt, because doing the 20 man and then doing a different league kind of get, it never hurts. Whatever you're doing, hockey, baseball, basketball, football, anything like that. It never hurts to have multiple of the same league. You can kind of get different. Okay, where who's getting picked up here? Who's available. A lot of the free agent stuff. That's what I've noticed, because it's most of the time the statistics are going to be the same. I mean, Adam Duvall has 5 home runs, 14 ribby. So that doesn't change, but the like availability of in a 10-man, 12-man, 20-man, or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Well, 10-man, there's gonna be a lot more availability. 12-man, pretty close, but when you get to 14, 15, and so on, it comes to a part where you want to make sure you drafted well. You know, I'm like I actually picked up Victor Robels from
Robles, yes.
yeah, Robles. Yep.
Blaze.
Yep, I picked him up here just because, I was just looking because he's actually been kind of hot here. Even though he's with the Nationals, they're not that great. But when you need somebody to actually hit the damn ball, you're looking at people that that can hit the ball. They're not really missing or not striking out as much. So I was looking last night. I'm like, all right, I need somebody, and a guy like Nelson Cruz, he hit. He's not playing much. I know I was should drop him. I probably will drop him because he's only played like in 3 games so far already. Yep, well, 4 actually, and I know. I mean, he's hit well, but I mean, he's not an everyday player.
My
He's up there
question
in
is,
age.
Jay, is Nelson Cruz still going to be playing by 2025?
Probably not.
He's on the same watch that Aaron Rodgers and a lot of these other guys in different sports are on. It's like, is Nelson Cruz going to retire this year? Is he? The guy's still productive. I mean, would you be
Yeah, he
shocked
is.
if at the end of the year he had 25 homers? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
he's that
he's already
guy.
got 2 homers already.
I
For,
mean,
for, for
like,
on the year.
being part time, DH it. Like, I could see him at least 20.
Yeah.
I was thinking somewhere around 20 to 25, and I mean that's incredible for a guy. I mean he's ageless, man. I remember Donovan probably remembers him. Remember Julio Franco? Back in the day,
classic.
dude. I think he played in his. This is like the modern day Julio Franco,
Right?
Oh boy,
But
I think he's getting some. Does he have a Julio Franco jersey?
I've got a treat for you guys. Keep talking.
Oh boy.
But
Keep talking.
overall, especially when you're in a deeper league like this, you want to find guys that either, in some of these weaker, smaller teams, or not weaker, I should say, teams that are kind of bad. They're still going to hit well. They're still going to get some RBIs.
The Reds.
Yeah, the Reds or the Washington, the Nationals. That's another team that is not too hot right now. But like I just mentioned, I picked up Victor because he's actually been hitting the ball here. Even though he's only 5% started, I mean, 8% rostered. These are guys you wouldn't think of actually using in a deeper league, especially even in smaller leagues. This guy, I mean, he's hitting. I mean, his OPS is over 1,000. So I mean, he's smacking the ball. He must. And I haven't dig too much in it, but he must have some power if he's smacking away some. He doesn't have any home runs, but he's hitting 2 for 3, 2 for 4. I mean, his at bats is looking pretty good.
Sorry for getting everybody excited. I have the wrong. I grabbed my a box of graded cards here, and I don't have not my Julio Franco box. I must have put that one away. I was going through a few of those recently, and
I'm coughing up that bullshit. Sorry. No, but for like the modern guys, I was guys that are kind of aging that are still putting up stats. I've been shocked seeing what Adam Duvall's, what he was doing for the Red Sox there before he got hurt. Just he's still in the top 3 in like all the different offensive categories. His OPS is like ridiculous. RBI, I think he had 14, 4 homers. He was hitting like almost 500, I think. So I mean, he was tearing it up before he got hurt, and he's in his mid 30s, and so there's a lot of there's young cats, but I've seen the first week and a half of the season is a lot of the veteran guys, guys that I would have remembered, when I like I said 5-6 years ago when I was more active, Duvall, Nelson Cruz. I'm excited to see these guys kind of going off. I'm like damn. I'm like, it makes me feel good. Makes me think I'm gonna get back into this, man. Kind of thing. And I don't know what are some observations you guys have seen. Just from obviously the Rays are 10-0 and stuff like that. But like, what are some things you guys have noticed, like about the
Well,
the different pitch count or clock.
well,
I don't think steals are up that great. Not
oh,
as much as
yeah,
people thought. People thought they might be. Sorry, but
They're up.
yes, steals are up huge. They're up. They're up there. Compared to the year before, they've doubled or tripled already. And there was like 50, 60 some odd steals already within the first like week and a half or
really,
so.
I
So
saw
I
the
mean, yeah,
leader. I saw the leader had like 5 or 6. That's I know it's early in the
yeah.
year, but I mean that must be it'd be interesting to see because they projected from what I was reading, they projected like the leading guys, 2023 projections to have 35, 36. And I thought that was low for the increase in the base size. I thought the leader would have 65 or 65, 70 ish.
Well, yeah,
Kind of
with
like
the
when Ricky Henderson and a lot of those guys, a lot of those old school Ozzie Smith, a lot of those old school guys when they were picking 70, 80 bases a year. I thought it
yeah.
might get back to that era. Or
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, I was I think you and
Billy
I mentioned,
Hamilton, guys like that
you
could
know,
really steal.
there was I think I mentioned this to you, Donovan. It was a pod I was listening to, and they actually had one of the Orioles pitchers. I can't think of it, or not batters. I can't remember his name offhand, but he actually Ryan Nolan, I think it was. No, God, I can't think of his name now. It was a guy from the Orioles. He was talking about how the change in the pitch clock and whatnot actually gets back to that era, kind of bringing that in, more of a quicker pace game, which they actually already studied that the games are already finishing with under like under 3 hours, so they're like an hour and a half long now or something like that. They're finishing quite under with that pitch clock, which is nice. And gets the games going a little bit quicker, and and whatnot. I've already seen a few guys that had issues with the time, the timeout, or one batter gets one timeout per up to bat, and one so I've seen a few of those. So I think it's crazy, just crazy.
It's getting back to like when I was growing up, late 90, what I remember, because the length of the games were, even up to like last season, they got up over 3 hours. I mean, like it's probably, I don't know the exact number. It might have been 305 or 350. Chad or somebody might help me with that. But I know it was up over 3 hours, like Jamie was saying. And,
Yeah.
I remember the late 90s, early 2000s, that era quite, vividly. And, there were 2.5, 2 hour, 40-minute games. So it had gone up just within 20, a couple decades. I mean, it had gone up probably a half hour per game. And it's good that they're bringing that back down, because I mean, especially our, younger people or the ADD, we all have ADD in my generation. And it's like, this is the way to go, get the get steals up, get the time of the game down. I know isn't there like a Max Scherzer rule? Like, didn't Max Scherzer try to manipulate this or something? I don't know if you guys could elaborate on
I
that.
don't. Donovan might be able to.
Donovan knows.
I don't know on actually offhand.
On the pitch clock, you're saying?
Yeah, I was kind of watching a video about Scherzer. He said he's always wanted to kind of up the pace.
Yeah.
Kind of,
So
because
right,
he's a cerebral pitcher, so he'd be the guy to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he's going to find every angle he can to his advantage. And he's always been ready to go. And if you're not ready to go, he's ready to go. So I pulled up the average game lengths, and the average game time in 2019-ish was 3 hours and 10 minutes. So there was some 2.5 hour games. So it should speed things up. What happened was, I think, you look back to 1970 and it was 2.5 hours a game, but you didn't have the offense like you do now, right? Back then, games were still fairly low scoring, right? And then you get into the steroid era and you see these games just pump up because everybody's hitting home runs and you got to walk around the bases. Then you got to get a new pitcher. So, also, when you look back at time earlier, um, relief pitchers really didn't come into play. Like closing pitchers and that didn't start until the mid 1900s, really. So like these guys were throwing. Boy, I just saw a stat the other day. I don't know if it was Bob Gibson's like pitches or innings per start. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, like these guys went full
Nine,
games.
nine, nine, nine.
9, 9, 9, 9. And
Hey, we're not Hitler in here now. 9.
9. So that's part of what slowed the game down was when people got smart and started using analytics and saying, hey,
Yep.
maybe Scruffy McRefferson over here, whatever an old baseball name is, Hannes Wagner here is throwing 2,400 innings this year. He's pitched every game for us. Like maybe if we brought in a guy that had a fresh arm.
Yeah.
Right. And he was Hannes Wagner was probably throwing 70 miles an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But the guy on the other end, he made his own bat out of a freaking railroad tie or something, right? Like as the game evolves and analytics come in and people start figuring out how to bend baseballs and sticky substances and make it spin and changing pitch grips and the change of the pitches happens slowly, but now we're seeing every year there's a new pitch,
Oh, supposedly, like I've been like some guys are saying there's pitchers that have like 5 pitches. There's so many pitchers that have so many different kinds of style pitches. It's just like It's like, dude, what the hell's going on here?
The slutter, like we're combining pitches into one now, right? So like, and which is why we pitching is the most fragile, I think, of all positions because you're bending your arm in ways that wasn't intended and throwing as hard as you can on every pitch. And we got guys throwing 105 miles an hour instead of 70 miles an hour. And so as the game changes, you're going to see the increase in time because, and now you have to have, what's his face blow his Tommy trumpet, play his damn song for 45 minutes so the guy can come out of the bullpen, so they make it.
I love that, dude. I
would love it too.
I loved when John Rocker, in like the late '90s, Enter Sandman would come on and John Rocker. It was entertaining.
And
the game, it's if they can get back to a little bit of that. Obviously you can't shoot these guys up with roids like Bonds and McGuire in that era, but
for sure.
But that's a little bit of kind of balance every, and I think they're heading in a good direction. I've like, this is the most interested I've been in baseball in a few years. I mean, I like where they're going with things.
Yeah, we'll get you back into 2, and Eli, you'll be surpassing me before you know it, man.
Oh man!
But I just wanted to take a quick look. I wanted to take a quick look here because I was looking at total far as like all of our leagues or like our 20-man league here, pitching wise, for ERA, I'm actually second overall with 2.48. My whip, the whip probably a little bit different, but Donovan, you're at a 4.76, and Eli, where are you at here? Eli, you're at a 4.87. So it's kind of neat to kind of look at this a little bit, and then there's a couple other guys with a lot of holds. I know my holds. I only got 2 holds. Eli, you got 1. I think. Let's see where. Oh, and you got 2 as well, Donovan. So if you're looking, go to if you guys want to check this out, go to leagues, and then you can actually I think it's on the side there. You can actually compare everybody's pitching, everybody's batting. So I mean, overall, there's one guy who actually has 109.2 pitches already within the first week and a half. Just insane. Crazy stuff, but interesting.
Ooh boy.
yeah,
coming for you.
yeah, it's very interesting. I
It
kind of
is.
dig it.
It is, and it kind of there's so many different types of match. Being in a 20-man league, there's so many different kinds of matchups. It's like
Yeah.
one guy's strength. Okay, this guy OPS is crazy. He's got a good bullpen, or he's got there's different factors per matchup, and the head stuff. So there's always varying. So you have to, it's interesting being in this. This is the biggest baseball league I've ever been a part of. The 20-man that Jamie does, and you
Yeah.
guys have probably done them before.
Well, see,
This is the
I
first
did.
20-man baseball.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting to see the other, as the weeks move on. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most
obviously
definitely.
Donovan had certain strengths. You have certain strengths. Like
Yeah. Yep, I did mine. I played in one last year, which was great, and that's why I end up doing this one. Doing to get some guys together and whatnot, because I thought it was fun, keep you on your toes, and kind of help you kind of dig into looking at different teams and guys on bad teams that are actually hitting well, and that's what I had to dig for, and just yeah, it's Chad. Well, yeah, it sounds like
this guy,
Ch-
this guy.
Chad says, yeah, it will sure be interesting watching for me with watch me win every week. So
He
it's
wants to eat those dubs, Jay. Oh,
yeah, yeah. A lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people do, but I mean, there are guys that have been doing this for a while. It's I wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I like it just because you have to dig and look into like a lot of different teams, which is how I learned to be like, okay, well, what can I do to help my team out, even when it comes to pitching, because I've in my 20 man, I've been plagued hardcore with my pitching, so it's bad. I've lost a couple of my aces, like Tristan McKenzie. He's out for another 60 days. So I mean that's
ooh,
brutal. Yeah, so I've got him in a few leagues, so and I got Robbie Ray. So yeah, it's really plagued. Now I got really plagued with O'Neill Cruz going down. So now, me trying to find somebody to, with that his power and his base
that's
kind
been
of
your guy.
his base stealing.
Like
So yeah.
all the preseason stuff. I mean, that was like we did a show month and a half ago. That O'Neill Cruz was that was the guy you're like that's the young guy you're riding. You're like
Yeah.
and he gets hurt. I mean, I remember him specifically, but yeah, I know but you're adaptive. You know what I mean? You adapt to different trials and tribulations, and I think you'll be fine. You just have to see what's out
Yeah.
there. Anybody, you got a couple trade. You always got us and probably few other guys you're tight with that you could probably make a deal if you had to. So
Oh yeah,
kind of
most
fix some.
definitely. Yeah, it's I think it was I think it was this league too. Yeah, was it this one? Nope, it was the other league. My other the in the Joe Rogan one. I got a few guys. I actually picked up I don't think I picked up I can't pick up anybody yet because I have so many guys. I have Mitch Hanger, Dylan Moore, Newt Barr on the IL, so I can try to pick up guys. Then I have Robbie Ray and Tony Gonsolin on the IR too as well. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 7 guys in this league that and one guy I can't do anything with. The other guy can't put him on the IL just because I got New Bar, Dylan Moore. I don't know. I've been trying to think of should I drop a couple of these guys? I don't know if Mitch Hanger, Dylan Moore, or New Bar. I think I might stick with New Bar, but I was trying to debate on if I should drop Dylan Moore or Mitch Hanger, just so I could have some more room to move people around with.
We should do I don't know if like if we do more 3-man weaves with the baseball, which is probably going to happen because honestly, folks, there's no damn NASCAR of note, there's no NFL of note, that's our bread and butter. But like if we do some more baseball 3-man weaves, I'd like to kind of like we did with the football stuff. I'd like to do adds drops maybe. to kind of
Yeah.
work that and like, hey, would you pick, because you guys are in so many damn leagues, we can do different setups. Like, okay, in this league, would you take, XYZ or would so I think that would be a good segment too. We could as for kind of for some content, and to
Oh,
help
yeah,
help those
most
guys out there too that are adds and drop because there's so many more players in baseball. And I mean, it's common knowledge, obviously, but there's so many more players you got to follow. I mean, you got to know. I mean, a shitty team like the Reds, I mean, you got to know their left fielder, right? You got to know the Nationals catcher. There's certain. I mean, it's not just the okay, like in football, you know who the 1,000-yard guys are, the 1,000-yard receivers are. But in baseball, it's it's so much more in depth. Like, okay, this guy plays on a shitty team, but he's got so much value because he can steal 40 bases. I mean, he doesn't hit for average. He hits 5 home runs or maybe 45 RBIs or so.
yeah.
But damn it, this guy he fit. So it's I think that would help help us and help some people too.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
we,
yeah,
maybe did a
most
segment like
definitely.
that in the future.
Yeah, most definitely.
Try to get more involved with.
And part of the big thing is, and like Jamie and I have been talking a little bit offline about using different statistics to look at players, and like we were
Yeah.
talking about, and pitching's a little different because
Yeah.
most relief pitchers aren't going to turn into a starter. But to take a similar conversation we were having earlier, you could look at there are players who are on a bench that just need playing time, or they're in a platoon, or strong side, weak side platoon, depending on if they're a left-handed batter or right-handed batter, and all they need is that chance, and an injury happens, and maybe like if you're just looking blindly at the statistics in your league and say, well, he only has 2 home runs. Well, yeah, he does, but he doesn't, this particular person may have the upside. So the thing with baseball is you're always looking for the upside,
Yeah.
because Eli said, you have to use football and baseball together. You have your 1,000-yard rusher, or in the equivalent in baseball is a 35 plus home run hitter, right? And then you have a whole bunch of guys that are going to get 700 yards rushing, right? And they're in the middle. They're in that 20 to 25 range, right, of home runs. And there's a ton of those. But what sets them apart? So that's where you need to look deeper to say, well, you can get, do they have stolen base potential?
Absolutely.
Where are they batting in the lineup? Like, that's huge. Like, to take a
total bases,
that's
a huge thing.
Yeah.
So if you can get on base, man, you got. I don't care if you hit 10 homers or whatever. I mean, if you can get on base, you do my team well. It's interesting to kind of I think that'd be a good discussion. Definitely. Get on here more and I think that and go into more of these categories, because there's anywhere from like 17 to 20 categories depending on the league. League.
Oh, yeah. You're
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like my prime example that I picked up Victor Robels, just because he's been getting playing time. He hasn't had any homers, but he's getting one or two RBIs. He's getting a couple base steals. So a guy like that in your deeper leagues will help out somebody that will overplay somebody like Nelson Cruz, who's not getting a lot of playing time. And he's only DHing. So I mean, some DH spots are all right, but especially in a league like this, you want somebody that's going to get a lot more playing time. That's going to help you get a few more categories. And I'm quite debating if I should keep Nelson Cruz or drop him, but yeah, it's I contemplated that. I did see today, Donovan, you actually added Escobar. And I actually dropped Escobar for Victor Robles. Yes.
I picked him up
Robles!
just for I need a body. I don't remember which league that is, but I had an IL. Someone go to IL, so I needed a body. It was just a body move.
Yeah,
what I looked at is as of today, he's going to get at bats. So that was my only we're that
yeah.
deep in that league where it's like he will get at
I was gonna
bats.
I was gonna ask you guys too how you feel. I put it on the bottom scroll, but how you guys feel about the Tim Anderson injury from the White Sox? Like, is there anybody that could step in there? And I was hearing Elvis Andrus, and I'm like, I remember him. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah, he was
I haven't
with,
followed the
I
White
think,
Sox that closely.
yeah,
If
he
he
was
was
with,
starting, he was starting at second, they moved him over, or he was on the bench, he was a utility, and they. So, but I don't know, how does that affect thing? He'll be out about a month, 2 weeks to a month is what they were saying for Tim Anderson.
yeah,
So
well, that's why
right
you
on.
don't draft guys like him or
Anybody on
Johan.
the White Sox.
Yeah, Johan Mondesi. Yeah, that's one.
Moncada. Yeah.
Moncada, yes. Johan, it's Johan Makadiki. Yeah, he, but whatever. I mean, really, I don't care. I'm just gonna.
Oh,
We're supposed to be funny too at the same time. Now, come on now. Yeah, I might butcher some of these names, and people are like, oh, I know who he's talking about.
that's part of his charm. That's part of his charm.
Yes. Yeah. So Elvis Andrus will see an uptick in playing time. He will take over likely at shortstop because that's his normal position throughout his
Yeah, do
career.
that, Chad.
Last
Yeah.
year, so he was kind of resurrected from the dead. He was kind of fizzling off, and last year he had, let me see here, 43 games, 181 at bats. He had 9 home runs and 11 stolen bases. So he's getting a little long in the tooth. He's 34 this year, but why couldn't he have another 2020-ish thing if he stays in the lineup? So for now, 100%, I would pick up Elvis Andrus. In fact, I just signed him in my 3-sport league to fill in for the dead O'Neill Cruz.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I know I was gonna try to, and I've been trying to look
DOA.
for right, but yeah, that's why like this year. That's why I stayed away from a lot of the White Sox guys. I mean, pitching you might be all right. Dylan Cease, Hendricks or Hendricks. He's one guy that you can. He's one guy that you could pick up. Or not what the hell? Yeah, if Henderson is on your waiver wire, go pick him up because there's a good chance he's going to be playing here in pretty soon, probably a couple weeks or a month roughly or so. So he's a good relief pitcher, so that's for sure. I know I had quite a few shares of him. But welcome in, Chad. So you got some quick injuries for us?
Yeah, well,
News reporter Chad.
let me just
you got?
stop choking to death on this terrible pizza. Oh fuck. On the Elvis Andrus situation, he was already starting every day. He's just
Okay.
shifting
That's why I
over
wasn't yeah.
to a different position so they could call up I'm gonna butcher his name. Leonin Sosa, I believe is how it's pronounced.
And you
Sosa, is that Sammy's kid? Slamming Sammy Sosa's kid?
I know Sosa had a relative, but I don't think it's him.
and you're talking about me butchering names now. Come on now, Chad.
But I actually
go ahead.
don't. While I do think he's worth monitoring, I don't think that's the name you should keep an eye out for in the White Sox world. Brian Ramos is the name to watch out for when he gets called up. He is an immediate ad in every format.
There you go.
Uh,
I know there was a little.
addition-
I know there was a
Oh,
little
go.
Joey Gallo news as well that you mentioned.
Yeah, Joey Gallo went down with an injury today. That whole team's down with injuries, and
Oh shit.
Eduard Julian
What happened?
has been called up. I did not see what the injury was for Gallo. I just saw they went to the IL.
I think I seen
But,
something with back tightness or one of those two things. I think
I've
with
seen a
Gallo.
lot of back tightness today, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah.
It just lists
but-
him as a
He
side.
needs to use that cryo spray. He needs that cry. You know what? You guys keep talking. I'm gonna go get some cryo spray just for him.
But Julian needs to be owned in every league. He was someone people thought would break camp. He's a second baseman by default, but he's probably going to gain extra positions.
Yep.
Can hit for contact.
Yeah,
He's very consistent, solid on base skills. Not a ton of power, not a ton of speed, but gets the job done.
They should
There we
sponsor
go.
us. They should
Yes,
sponsor
there
us.
we go.
Brandon Woodruff to the IL. Looks
Oh,
like it's
yep.
going to be a minor. Looks like it's going to be a minor stint. Nothing to touch. Jansen Junk is, as his name surmises, junk. So he's not worth touching. The big news of the
I don't
day:
touch junk. So
Zach Eflin to the IL. Breaking up the
Is that wait,
Rays' unbeatable
Zach
rot-
Efron? Zach Efron or Zach Eflin? Is that the
Eflin.
actor? Or the baseball player?
But yeah,
breaking
Sure.
He broke up the Rays' dream unbeatable rotation with his injury, but they've called up top prospect Taj Bradley.
yeah.
And I'm concerned because it's not been the greatest 6 months for him, but the stuff is he could immediately be their best pitcher. And Drew Rasmussen's been very good, and McClanahan's obviously been very good, and he still could just vault over both of them if the stuff is right.
That's good. Yep. Oh.
Who gives the Rays their first loss this year?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Whoever pitches next, I'm gonna guess. They can't go 12-0.
We
Can
get a
they?
score update.
They won the
scores
day.
from tonight. From the Rays Red Sox game.
Yeah,
They won 7-2. 7-2.
Yep, 7-2.
Rays won.
Brandon Lowe had a homer, and Josh.
Well, the better. I was gonna say the better question. I mean, you cut Jay off there, but the better question is, do they break the record? How far do they? Because I think it's 13. I think it's the 87 Brewers and the 82 Braves, from what I was reading, are both started 13-0. I think that's the record. Like, how far do you guys think they could? I guess you kind of work that in too with which team's going to beat them, but I don't know who they're playing. I don't know who they're playing.
If they sweep the Red Sox, they get the record.
I could see them getting 16. I think 16-0. I think they'll get to 16. I don't know who they play like middle of next week.
They have the Jays next. The Jays are next. That's gonna be
Jay.
So the 12th and the 13th they play the Red. Yeah, the 12th and 13th they play the Red Sox. The 14th they
win.
Yep. They end up playing. Yep, they play the Blue Jays next. So that might be a tough one.
When's Rasmussen up again?
The 14th.
Tomorrow is Chris Sale versus Taj Bradley, so it should be interesting.
If it was going to happen, it would be tomorrow. I think Sale would get them, but I think they get to 16. I think they set the record. I think they'll
be interesting if they did
clean up the Sox, and then I think they'll. Is it a 3-game series or a 4-game series against the Blue Jays?
Ooh,
but I'm taking 16. Make bold predictions here on Out of Rhythm. Put your money where your mouth is. How many? They set the record? Is it gonna happen, boys?
They play the Blue Jays. They play the Blue Jays 3 times in a row. Then they play the Reds 3 times, and back to the Sox 3 times. So
Friday,
right there.
Friday is Rasmussen versus Barrios. Yep. So that's a
Barrios
that's an easy win for
that should be a slam dunk
for the Rays.
Well, fucking Barrios is not doing. So
yeah,
guys, quickly on Barrios, would you drop him in a 10-man or 12-man league?
He should. I've been telling you this for like a month.
He's dead.
Is he? Because I can't. Well, even how about?
No.
How about a 20-man? Would you drop him if he had?
Yes. If there's anyone with a pulse on the waivers, you drop him.
Barrios in a 20. You know how thin these 20-mans are, Chad?
You know how bad Jose Barrios is?
Pick up Taj Bradley right now.
Exactly.
I
have some.
I was hoping there'd be a Lazarus, resurrection thing. Hey, it's Easter. Easter just happened. I thought Barrios along with Jesus Christ would be resurrected. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't.
Donovan just saw the
it's
breaking
it's
news,
so
and
thin.
me and him
It's
are
so
both
thin, Chad.
unhappy.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
I'm
hopefully,
not
Breaking news:
happy.
Corey Seager has been removed from the game
Oh,
due to
shit.
hamstring tightness.
Well, he's gone for 2
Uh-oh.
weeks.
yeah, probably he likes to hurt his
And they-
hamstrings. So
All right. Well, so since we got
What a bad day for injuries.
right for
and Jesse Winker's sick. Oh my god.
so
Got
let's kind of get into some of our top 3 guys that we saw here quick. Donovan, do you want to go through your 3 top guys quick?
Sure. Yeah. Let's
Holy,
pull 'em up.
All right, Donovan.
while you're pulling it up,
have at her.
apparently Luis Arias just hit for the cycle, guys.
Yeah, I seen he had a homer. Did he homer again?
I don't know if he hit again, but he's hit for the cycle.
Well, I seen one that he had a home run, and I think he might have had another one. But go ahead, Donovan.
Yeah. So now the only reason that Brian Reynolds is a surprise to me is I don't know that we were drafting him as the number 1 player in baseball. And so far, I mean, this guy is dialed in, right? 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, 366 batting average. We're drafting him later, what? I don't know. He was probably 5th, 6th round. So, I mean, he's really returning a lot of value for where we got him. And it's not a name that I would have put as the home run leader, as the dude of all dudes. And he's on the Pittsburgh Pirates, which really...
point leader, too. He's got 64 points. So he's the...
if you have him in a points league, which I do,
he's the cat's meow, as they would say, Donovan.
He is.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't have much more to say on Brian Reynolds, but he's trying to earn that paycheck that Pittsburgh's trying not to pay him. And if they don't pay him, he's gone.
New York. There's 2 teams in New York and a team in LA that'll pay.
The only thing with Brian Reynolds is if negotiations between the Pirates and Reynolds do not get any further, which they might not, you will see him on a big market team, and
he'll be the Yankees.
And then that just so that Brian Reynolds should be the starter there if they move him, so his value shouldn't be impacted. But sometimes when you see these midseason trades, especially in the closer area, like, you just lose so much value when they shift teams. But Brian Reynolds probably going to a big market team by the middle of the season, and it could be even better for his value. But right now, he's so hot, and he's just a surprise to me. He's doing.
And what's so interesting about it is he's really not doing anything too different from what he normally does. He's got the home runs have come more plentiful, but like the exit velos, all the stuff that quantify it are all normal stuff he does every year.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is the Pirates are they're not that good, but they're just like I was mentioning earlier, a lot of there's teams that are bad with batters that they hit well, and it's guys like them that you want on your team because you're going to be getting back RBIs, base steals. He's already got 5 homers on the year already, so I mean he's already leading everybody, so I mean that's a positive note.
The Pirates aren't that bad. They're in first place right now.
Are they? I guess I didn't look. I thought they were a little worse than that. My bad.
Oh, they're 7-4.
Yeah, right up there with Milwaukee. But
shit!
It's the same. Surprising. It's the same crap with this. It's the same crap with this team, though. It's the same crap. I mean, Garrett Cole, whatever that I forget what year it was before he went to the Astros, but Garrett Cole, all-world pitcher. They had him. It's like you can't pay him because it's Pittsburgh. They're going to run the same problem with Brian Reynolds, ran into the same problem when Andrew McCutchen was in his prime. Like, I go away from baseball for a while, come back. This is still the same Pirates. They have a good farm.
Cole was never that good in Pittsburgh.
No.
I know they get shit on for the look they had.
Years. It's been a rough 5 before that.
Cole was good, but he was like
every year they were in contention.
he was like a solid 2, not an ace when they traded him. And the same thing happened with
No,
they gave up Austin.
He was damn good.
The Chris Archer trade didn't work out.
No,
Nope.
no, they melted that team down.
Keep.
All right, we'll get on to your next Rambo.
Oh, sure.
We'll just
Yeah.
go through everybody's 3 quick, and then
Okay.
I'll make it quicker that way.
It's so beautiful.
Brian Anderson.
Yeah.
Brian Anderson is another surprise for me, and I guess he's just a guy that had the skills, but was just in another crappy situation in Miami. Moves up, comes up to the Brewers, and it's a perfect ballpark for him, I believe, and he's really turned his season around, turned his career around, really, if he can keep this going and find everyday playing time, and which he has right now. But his highest home run total on an entire year is 20. He's going to supersede. He'll surpass that in a short amount of time this year. I just think it's a good situation. Great fit for the Brewers. Just he's really hitting the piss out of the baseball, and I'm enjoying it as a Brewers fan.
Nice. Well, I'm sure you are. Well, go ahead,
And the
Chad.
big thing was it's not so much the ballpark's definitely much better for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But him being healthy is so, because you could just see there's something wrong with him. He just could not get it right dealing with those injuries in
Nagging
the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe even 3 years, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And on just to touch on the Pirates again, real quick. Apparently, they came.
Oh. Andy's kind of freezing. Well, his internet has frozen us. Yep.
He looks like a blurry face.
Yeah. I muted.
It was the internet or the pizza. One of the two got him.
He looks like
there he
looks
goes.
like
Back.
a nameless ghoul from the band Ghost.
But
I went over to Twitch to see if it was me or Jamie, and I saw the face. I was just like, "Oh fuck!"
We're starting to freeze.
Yeah. And we'll get to your last one here, Donovan, and it's still with the Brewers.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a surprise, and it's another guy that needs to stay healthy, but Freddie Peralta coming out. I think
No. Freedy Peralta.
Freedy. Freedy, yes. Freedy Peralta, his brother, Freddie's brother, Freedy.
Twice removed.
Twice removed, yes. A mother from brother from another mother. Anyway, removed from injury again, right? He's injury plagued, and always concerns about him. But I guess maybe we shouldn't have been surprised because the guy has good stuff. But he's coming out the gate and pitching very well. So he's a short guy. He's with a short release, but he throws damn hard and makes it hard for batters to find his fastball. So when he's on, and so far it's working for him. So I hope he can keep it up again as a Brewers fan. I shouldn't be too surprised by this, but I think when you're on the Freedy Peralta train, sometimes there's some herks and jerks along the way, and it's always good for him to get off to a good start. Last year was a down year in Freedy Peralta land, but
yeah, I had a share of him on ESPN last year and held on to him, and then held on to him for so long. And then he was able to come back, and his outing was not that great last year.
Yeah, it's just good to see him get off to a good start because
yeah, most definitely.
Just the guy we worried about with the
now.
injuries last year.
Sell now.
There you
sure.
go. Yep.
He's a 100% certified bum. It will not get any
Chad,
better than right now.
And I agree. If you have him, it's a great opportunity right now to deal him for some more tangible assets that will be there in June and July, because he likely won't.
yeah.
So
So if for Chad over there, so a guy like Freddie Peralta, who would you like? Who would, since he's kind of hot or whatever, who would you actually try to replace him with? If you're trying to trade.
Let me look at his numbers. Maybe I'd say like a Dansby Swanson, somewhere in that range, but Dansby Swanson just left with an injury as well.
Jeez, we're just being plagued this whole day with injuries. That's
I think hopefully this one's not a non-issue, because that game was out of control.
Yeah.
And it was at the end of the game, so he might just pull them to pull him.
Ooh. All right. Well, Eli, I think it's your turn, buddy. Let's get into your 3.
I'm gonna have to get up in this. About to get wet.
Looks like we have another.
We got some more Brewers here.
Good God!
I'm showing some love to Donovan's team tonight.
Bring that Cream City.
Willie James. Cream City. That's right. That's right. We all got to go to me and Jay. We got to come out there, man. We all got to go to a Brewers and Twins game or something. I don't know if they played. Did they play this year?
They should somewhere.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure there is.
No, but I picked. I was gonna do 3 guys that I thought were surprises so far. I didn't have time for that, but I did 3 guys off the 20-man team that I do. That I thought, I had a rough week, but they made had 2 home runs, 7 ribbies last week. Is about where his career numbers are at. He's hit the average. I don't think is going to stay above 300. He's Chad could probably help me with that, but I think he hit 238 last year. Slugging, I don't think it'll stay that high either. I think the OPS will probably drop down somewhere around 800. 820, somewhere in there. After week, I think he was rated the number shortstop. So the 37 points. So big week from him. He helped the cause. You got to win 3 categories, and he helped me win probably 2 of those. Next up, there we go. Josh Rojas.
Ooh, we have a Diamondback up in here. Oh
yeah. Yep. Got to get some red up in there too. Too much cream, too much yellow. That's what she said. But last week,
Eli out here with all the guys I shit on during the spring.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, purposely. You purposely don't think 2 people between us, Chad, is going to stop me. We might as well be side by side in our camera views, because I'm coming for you. He batted over 400 last week. Like I said,
I can
damn good.
I can make that happen. There we go. Oh no! There we go.
No. No. Musical chairs. No. No, but the last few years,
right?
He's had a shade under 400 points, so he's been consistent. I think like the average, obviously nobody's gonna bat 400. I mean, that's not sustainable. OPS isn't sustainable. There is a slugging. It was a good week. 30 points. So it runs. I think he can. That's what he's averaging. From what I saw from 2021 and 2022. So I think it will be sustainable for Josh Rojas. And we got one more guy showing some love to a different team. If it'll ever pop up, come on now. Michael Waka.
Yeah,
I remember. Waka, mother saga. Waka. I remember him from the Cardinals, man. Like, back in the day, I remember when he won like 17 games one year for the Cardinals. I mean, that's been a minute. I mean, that was almost a decade ago, but Had a lot of injury plague season where he hasn't. Yeah, I mean he hasn't popped that much. He had that one big year. That's probably the year I'm thinking of, and then I think maybe 2017 he had another decent year. But so I don't think he's gonna be few and far between where you're getting 2 wins in a week from Michael Waka. But yeah, I mean,
He spiked
12
big last year
innings
too.
pitched, 12 strikeouts. Uh, yeah, no, I trust you. But yeah, I think that the whip's going to go up. Not going to have that many maybe a win per week or some no wins, but strikeouts. It's a little high for him too. I don't think he's going to get 12 in another week again. So it's helped out, and I appreciate the because it wasn't good otherwise. I don't know if you heard Chad, but Donovan laid the old smackdown on me.
Put the wood down on
I'm
you.
going to need some guys to step up next week. So, if we do this segment again, come on another baseball show next week or Sunday or whenever you guys do it again, I'll probably have 3 different guys because I don't think any of these guys are going to be the same guys next week. Maybe a Dames.
No.
A Dames would be of the 3. I think he'd be the most likely to be in the 3 in the next episode. But
Yeah, most definitely.
those are
Well,
my
I
3
mean,
guys.
I don't have a top 3. Maybe I have a top 2 and a one dud. But it's just kind of how I roll. I do things a little orthodox, but my main guy, Jordan Walker. He's kind of coming in here. I know Chad's been on him quite high. I actually drafted him I got him in a couple leagues as well. So I was pretty surprised. He has 13 hits out of 38 bad appearances. 2 runs, 2 home runs. 8 RBIs. His average is off the charts. OPS. 9.43. Slugging is 5.53. With Yahoo, he's got 77 odd points. ESPN 25. So it's Chad. I know you have a lot of insight on him as well. I mean, wasn't really on him, but I mean, I heard of his name and I'm like, well, from spring training, I heard he actually hitting pretty well. So I was kind of a target already then. They weren't sure if he was actually going to go down to AAA or actually stay in the roster. And once everybody heard he actually was staying on the roster, I was like, I am all in, and I'm pretty pleased with how he's actually been hitting. And
Good week.
yeah, I mean, just over the week and a half,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
He's
the other.
I believe he's now the all-time rookie record holder for consecutive hits.
Well, there we go. So, my one quick dud here is Mr. Bobby Witt Jr. I drafted him in a couple leagues here. I am not impressed. 6 hits out of 38 appearances, 4 runs, 2 home runs. Only 4 RBIs. His average is very, very horrible right now. His OPS is way down. I mean, just overall, his metrics and everything are down. Everybody was hyping him up for this year. That he was gonna come out of the box, hitting rockets and pockets and who knows what kinds of stuff, But but no, I was a little down and I was hoping to see a little bit.
That's what we're gonna call this segment. Rockets and pockets. That's the name
Rockets
of the segment.
and pockets.
Genius.
Right.
No more buds and duds.
Yep. But yeah, I was just overall, I'm kind of little, not impressed with the way Bobby Witt has been hitting at the plate. I'm hoping maybe he can kind of get changes around here. Hopefully in the next couple weeks or so. I mean, over this week, hopefully he can gather himself and kind of rebound from his little slump here. And everybody's he is another guy picked up for base steals and stuff like that. So he hasn't really had any base. I don't think he's had any base steals yet. Maybe one, but I mean, other than that, overall, I'm just not impressed. I want Bobby Witt to get a rebound and maybe catch up with Jordan Walker, but that'll be unlikely. But for my last and final guy, Patrick Sandoval. Sorry, I just had to. I'm like, yep. I'm out of all the guys that have on my all my teams, Sandoval is pretty much one guy I've been targeting quite a bit, and I target him quite a bit. And a lot of there's probably one league I did not, one or two leagues maybe I didn't get him in because somebody else sniped him for me. So I was like, eh. But Patrick Sandoval, 11 innings. His ERA or K or K percentage is 9.1. He only has 4 strikeouts right now, but I'm hoping that actually turns around here. His BB is 6.8. His ERA is 1.64, which is pretty low. His WHIP is pretty low. He's got 1 win so far. Point wise on ESPN, 25 points, and on Yahoo, he's got 35.70. But I mean, overall, I've been a fan of Sandoval for who knows how long. Well, actually, since last year. So I tried drafting him wherever I could. I know he had a little bit of a slump last year, but he ended up picking it up toward the end of the year, and I'm hoping he can continue that into this year. And hopefully he doesn't have. If he does have a slump, I'm hoping he has a slump in the middle of the season and comes back hot at the end of the season. But yeah, it's kind of my top 2 and dud of the other guy, but I'm gonna be a little. Well, the other guy, the other guy I was kind of thinking of. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask Jay quick. Him Otani, that's a damn good. I mean, could the Angels make a run here this year if Sandoval and Otani if they're lights out, if that's the 1-2, or Sandoval, I'm guessing is their number 2.
It's the Angels.
Yeah, they'll screw it up.
That's your answer.
Yeah, they probably will screw it up. Who knows?
Man,
I mean,
they could get
for Trout.
They could get 20.
Get a run.
They could get 27-year-old time traveling Randy Johnson out there, and they'd screw it up.
Well, the one guy I haven't been really impressed with.
Some Back to the Future shit,
right?
So I'm actually prepared, Jamie.
Are you?
Oh,
yeah, I got 3 for you.
Are you? Oh, all right. Let's have her.
Wait on us, Chad.
Before I do that, though, I need to bring up the fact that I am looking at the stat line of the craziest baseball game I've seen in a long time. The Mariners were up 7-0, 2 innings in. They have been outscored 14-1 since, and it's only the 7th inning.
Bottom of the 9th or bottom of the 6th. Correct.
Top of the 7th. So maybe Dansby injury might be more serious than I thought. I thought the game was just over when I heard it. I'm like, well, the Mariners were up 8-0. They probably just yanked them. But, holy shit! My first guy. Where'd it go? I lost the tab. Give me a sec. Is Matt Chapman.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up.
It's ridiculous. He's hitting .475 with a .523 on base, 2 home runs, 4 walks. He got caught stealing, but no one goes to him for steals anyways.
So did Jane's Addiction, but they were just fine.
I believe he's second in the league in RBIs. It's just he wants to get paid. That man wants to get paid one more time.
Missing money. Yep.
Because he has been nothing for 3 years now, and I loved him. I'm like, he's never going to lose his job because he's better than Arenado defensively. This is years ago. It's not the case anymore. Arenado's god defense, and his offense is just going to keep getting better. He's the perfect third baseman. It just all after he went to Toronto, it all fell apart. The second guy is James Outman.
He's on there too. Number 13. He's got 9 ribbies for the Dodgers.
And 8 runs and 2 stolen bases, 3 home runs, 3 triples.
Jesus Christ.
While hitting 300 as a rookie.
Some people don't even get 3 triples in a year. What is this?
He's looking like they made a good decision getting rid of Cody Bellinger.
Yepers.
That's always a good decision.
Yep.
He fell off. I remember when Bellinger was a stud.
That was
He
one day.
really fell off.
All right,
The next one for me is it shouldn't be a surprise, but because of history, it is Brandon Marsh.
You're a fan of Brandon Marsh, aren't you?
Everyone's like, well, this is the year he's finally going to break out.
Because he
We're
was with
seeing
the
the-
Angels last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was with the
Yeah.
Angels for a couple of years. They just never worked. And he showed flashes of it last year after the trade, but not a ton. And right now he's just hitting 385 with a 429 on base, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 4 doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot in the runs and RBIs department. That shouldn't be too surprising, though. That offense is kind of gutted with Harper injured, Hoskins injured. Schwarber's hitting like 100. So those numbers will go up.
100 with like 30 home runs. That's all that guy does.
Right. Oh, well, Chad, appreciate.
And then I have a bonus one.
A
Oh,
bonus.
we get a bonus too.
I
got one pitcher for you because he's my favorite player of all time right now. Kyle Freeland of the Colorado Rockies.
Oh yeah. There's a
Oh my
surprise.
God! Come on, he's not that great. Come on, but
12 and 2/3 inning, 2 wins, 6 strikeouts, 0 ERA, 0.79 WHIP, 2 quality starts, and he did it at home. And he's doing it
Actually,
again currently
I think
at
to be honest
home
with you,
against St. Louis.
Tonight,
He is at
he's pitching.
6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. So he finally gave up some earned runs, but it's the St. Louis offense, so that's not that bad. He gave up a home run to Edmund and a home run to Yepez.
yeah, I mean that's 5 strikes, 2
That's-
earned, 2 base runs, 6 hits. I mean, not bad for
That's 18 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 wins, 3 quality starts, and 11 strikeouts. He is very likely going to be the number 2 or 3 overall pitcher after tonight.
Possibly. I actually
And this
started
all
him.
started. This all started because of the WBC.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
firmly believe him being tapped on the shoulder to go
God
do that,
damn.
getting to do that, gave him all the confidence in the world.
This is totally insane. The Lopez trade with Marlins and the Twins. Lopez has come out
Lopez
swinging.
has been great, and so is Arise, hitting for goddamn the first cycle in Marlins history.
Yes. I was just looking because I actually was looking at my DFS lineup because I had Lopez and Freeland, and Lopez had a nice 35-point game if you're in points leagues, so he had himself a nice day. But yeah, I was just looking at 10. He had 10 strikeouts, 2 earned. He had 1 base walk. He pitched 7.5 innings. So
That's the Pablo line.
That's just insane, man. I know I got a couple of shares of Pablo. I wish I should have gotten him in some of the deeper leagues, but other than that, yeah, I'm pretty well impressed with what Lopez is doing. And do you guys think that the Twins outplay the Guardians?
No.
No, you don't think so?
Um,
I think you had.
My question
you
is,
had
do
to
you think
leave during the big Palazzo show, Jamie? But I went on the record saying the Twins are going to be one of the worst teams in baseball, and I've been going on record for it all off season. That team is just not good top to bottom. Pablo's good. Joe Ryan's good. Joan Duran is amazing. Buxton can't stay healthy. They got really no one else on offense. Like Joey Gallo has not.
Yeah.
Joey Gallo hasn't been good in like literally 10 years.
The only thing good about Gallo is he's got that last name, and I like Gallo wine, so it's kind of. I agree. I agree with Chad. I think it's and Jamie was mentioning too about. I think Cleveland is the favorite. I think the Royals are the second best team in that division. I do. I think it's Cleveland, Kansas City, White Sox, Twins, and then I think the Tigers are the worst team.
I think the Royals are too inexperienced to be number. I think it's still the White Sox.
I think
as
the White
long
Sox
as
are
Luis
too.
Robert's healthy.
Yep. Right now, it is tied game 3-3 with White Sox and Twins.
The battle for 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would just.
But the Guardians are probably winning the World Series.
Somehow it'll happen.
Cleveland, like
here's
Cleveland,
the thing.
Tampa,
Here's the thing.
I wouldn't be shocked.
You look at Terry Francona. You think about Terry Francona. If he goes to sleep at night and dreams up baseball teams, the Cleveland Guardians lineup and bench is what he dreams of. Like, that is the perfect team. You know, platoons everywhere, great options to swap in and out of the lineup, to play matchups, to play mind games with opponents. Come playoff time, he's just going to outmaster class everyone. And the talent's there on the field to back it up.
Damn.
And they have the deepest wealth of pitching, maybe in the history of baseball.
Yeah, the Twins did just win tonight. I think they must have got another hit in. So the Twins are 7-4 in the season, which is pretty awesome right now. I mean, just because we gone and seen the Twins, that was pretty a sight. I was just looking back. I was thinking about that day. That was that day we actually saw Bailey Ober pitching, and I'm trying to remember what he all pitched, but I know it was not great because they were actually playing Houston, and I think if I remember, I think they lost. Eli, I think they lost. I think they lost by a run or two. I can't remember exactly the score of that, but it was actually a interesting game though, because everybody was hating on the Houston like bad. Everybody was chanting, "Get the hell out of town!"
Oh, it was
kind of
after
thing.
the
Cheaters!
Yep.
Cheaters!
So yeah.
Get out!
So yeah,
Get out of here! Get out of
It
here!
was very interesting.
They got AJ Hinch out of there, man. They proved last year was they proved that was whatever happened. But it's like Bonds before the guy was a Hall of Famer before steroids. Like even if the Astros did cheat that year, it's like last year they weren't cheating and they won the title. So
yeah,
no, they're just douchebags now. He's like the world's biggest douchebag.
Got that ring, Chad. Got that ring, Chad.
Anyone got some Ryan Mountcastle shares?
Actually,
Jesus.
I don't.
Chad, you got to leave.
Yep, sorry, Chad. I'm going to boot you right now. Thank you for joining us tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
Why? What
are you going against me?
What happened to Mountcastle?
No, not bad. This is good. So if you have it's good news.
I have a share or two of him. Yes.
Okay, 2 home runs, including a grand slam and 9 RBIs.
Ooh,
that'll play.
Jeez.
I have to.
9 RBIs will play everywhere.
It's finger licking good.
Quickly before we get up out of here, I wanted to run through this here real quick. This is just a quick slide of the top 15 guys of RBIs that I put through. There were base steals and home runs as well. Is there just quickly, guys, anybody on this RBI list piquing interest at all? Surprise you at all?
We've talked about a lot of these names on this list. There's one we didn't get to that we probably should have. It's not so much a surprise on talent; it's the execution of the talent to this point. And that's Wander Franco.
Yep.
He looks like the Omega prospect he used to be.
Yeah, I am a noted anti-Franco.
I'm not surprised by Paredes. He hits the ball ridiculously hard. He'll fall off this list.
Yeah, he probably will. Yeah,
he's a hot and cold guy.
Yeah,
and he's a platoon bat. So
I actually picked him up here in a league or so. I think it was.
He's a perfect bench guy in fantasy. He has like 4 position eligibility.
Yep. All right, home runs. Anybody offhand?
Jason Hayward.
No, don't
No.
you dare! I called it.
Wait, Jason Hayward's still in the league?
He's
Yeah, he shot. Everyone was adamant he wasn't making the Dodgers opening day. I'm like, he's perfect in that lineup.
oh my god,
Uh,
it blows my mind. He's held
Well,
together
It's-
with duct
it's-
tape and tin.
Guys,
No,
it's 10 years ago, man. Four or is that three? Yeah, 3 homers so far.
Yep.
him and Freeman messed with because he's buddies with Freddie Freeman from back in the day. They were on the Braves, and they worked on his swing during the offseason in the spring,
Yep.
and it's just it works. He's not going to be great
Yeah,
because he's still clearly kind of toast, but he's
I-
going to have a serviceable year, and he's come playoff time he might do something crazy.
Yeah.
Jason Hayward was part of a trade. I traded away Miguel Cabrera my first year taking over the basement team in a keeper league. And Jason Hayward was part of a 3-person deal for me trading away Cabrera. I got laughed out of the room at the draft, and I went on to win that year. It was amazing.
isn't that something though?
It was awesome.
Yeah. All right, base steals. Then I got one more. Any surprises so far?
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah.
Stolen bases anyway.
Yeah. He's got Torres. I had my little list here too of surprise guys I would have put graphic for, but yeah, he has 55 points.
I'm not
Yeah.
shocked by the
Not
power,
just
but
stealing bases, he's hitting forever. I mean, this guy's a beast. He's filling
There we
everything
go.
up.
he's
Yeah.
finally coming around.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised to see 2 Orioles up in there. And I know, Chad, you mentioned about George Mateo at the beginning. You told me to pick him up. I was kind of happy about that part. But Cedric Mullin, I know you have some shares of him, Donovan. I'm sure you're pretty happy about that.
Oh, yes.
That's what he does. That's
yeah.
Cedric Mullins.
That's what the Orioles
specialty.
do.
Yep. But
Sure,
Anthony,
they are a very steel-heavy team.
yeah, Anthony Volpe, he's got a couple base steals up in here, and I can't remember how many base steals he was projected for, but he's up here. He's up in the top 15 as far as base steals so far already.
I'm surprised Onel Cruz can get 3 on that broken foot, but that's
I kind of had to get him up in there. This is probably the last time he'll be on some one of these lists.
He can levitate.
love it.
He can levitate.
Well, let's put
I'm a big fan of Ronald Acuna. By the way,
I know
Yeah.
Acuna.
the biggest surprise on this list is that Jose Ramirez only has 3, and he really hasn't been attempting. Like the 3 he has were just like kind of given to him.
Yeah. Well,
No, it's good.
I don't know. I don't know if that's his age getting to him finally, or if it just hasn't been the game plan.
maybe they have
Because
I mean,
they
look
also
at
don't
Miles.
need him to do that. They don't need to do that when Miles Straw is stealing every base under the sun.
Yep. I was just gonna say that too. I mean, Miles Straw has been, he's. I know last year Miles Straw has been.
I had him everywhere.
I had him off and on
He-
most of the year in some leagues last year. I kind of added him because he was kind of flaky a little bit. He was hot, cold, kind of hot and cold. But I mean, he did. He needed. I mean, if you needed him, he did what he needed to do. So I mean, he got you
He
base.
really
base
struggled
steals,
in
hits.
Houston.
Yeah, but I mean, I think after he came over to Cleveland, because I think last year was his first year with Cleveland, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what the trade was.
Yeah, I just
But
know
yeah,
he
he
was
went
with
over to
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
I just know he was with Cleveland last year, as far as I know. But yeah, and then very last one is strikeouts.
Number 2, ridiculous. I
That's
don't know where it came from.
Yep, that's out of nowhere. He's
I
not
love
a,
him.
Yep,
Logan
but he
Webb,
was not a
If
strikeout
he is
pitcher,
a strikeout guy, he's going to end up winning the Cy Young.
and trade for him instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's I guess a couple of guys on here, some just seeing some twin guys kind of having so many strikeouts already, that's kind of surprised me there, that'd be kind of my eye picking because, I was kind of curious to see what some of these twin guys would do, so a lot of these twin guys up here already kind of at the start of the season, kind of surprising a little bit after a week and a half or so with their
Be
as many
careful
strikeout.
with reading into these because like the guys at the top of the list have 3 starts now,
3 starts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
and
These
they're
are
all
just.
guys that go. They're also all guys that go 7-8 innings,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about Spencer
and that's the
Strider,
same with yeah,
Otani, Degrom, I mean, Garrett Cole would probably one. So a lot of these guys, Julio Reyes. So a lot of these guys that are up here that will be, 6 or 7 inning
right.
guys.
Like Joe Ryan's not necessarily a huge strikeout guy. He's just pitched so many innings so far that even
Yeah.
at 7 strikeouts per 9 innings, he's pitched so many innings that it's pushed him up into the list.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So
And
just be
that's
cautious buying into strikeout rates this early
yeah,
because it's some teams are on 6-man rotations and stuff, so pitchers aren't. It's all out of whack early on. But they're like the Logan Webb thing at 3 starts. That's when now you got to kind of start taking notice of it.
yeah.
Jeffrey Springs too, because he's not really he's more of a control guy.
Did
Yeah.
speaking of pitchers and strikeouts, did Alcantara go today? Or is
Who?
he? Let's see here.
Alcantara for
He got blasted, I believe.
And he went today, right?
what
I
team?
Yeah, he must have went. He's on Marlins. So but
Oh
now
yeah.
let's see here. So I was looking at him in the beginning. He only threw the two strikeouts the first time out, which I'm not going to worry about. 5 over 9 was kind of odd, and that it looks like he had his strikeouts today. But boy, if he was sitting in the strike zone, it looks like the Phillies just torched him today, or yesterday. So I don't know what's up with Alcantara and blowing up like that after that complete game. I don't know. Something might be off with him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's just a one-off.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the rest of his
Phillies lineup can do that sometimes. Like
sure.
I said, they're struggling, but like they're all like home run bats. So if your stuff isn't right, gotta give.
I noticed that too with all the lists. Like there was no Phillies in there, and I'm like that's not gonna stay like that. Like there was no Phillies in the top 15 of like any of those like offensive, and even steals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phillies are
Oh,
Phillies and Rays were like what I thought the World Series would end up being. So I mean, the
Yeah,
Phillies are damn good. Like
especially when I was trying to do these, I was trying with the graphics. I was actually going to try to do a top 20, but just the size of it and everything, it's just like I couldn't really try to pinch in 20 of them. So I thought 15 was going to be good enough because I mean, I'll probably be doing some other different graphics too as well throughout the season. But just for some top 15 guys, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have some of these things to look back on and whatnot because you know these things change daily. If you think about it, Miles Straw could be out past here, and he'll be, he could be down the list, down, somebody else would have a few more, steals here, So all these things are going to change quite a bit. It just makes good. It
interesting,
makes for
good
good
content
conversation.
and
Oh yeah, most
conversation, and
definitely.
we'll see where things are at the All-Star break or a month from now, or like, and kind of, and it's nice to have these. Jay's always gonna have these graphics, so we can kind of put them like, hey, this was April 11th, and then here's July 11th, and then kind of see from there, like, oh, this guy jumped up, whatever. He's the number one. He was 17 at one time, so it'll be interesting to see how the season goes, but.
Yeah, most definitely, especially when it comes to points leagues too. I mean, I'm doing it like a top 20, from comparing Yahoo and ESPN, so any of those points leagues and stuff like that, and then I'll probably do like a top 80, points league overall. I did that last year, so I mean, I'll probably do into like the top 80 points, just kind of see where batters are and pitchers are and stuff like that. So when I get the time to, I'll probably start slowly working on that because everybody wants to know where maybe where some pitchers fall because I had some I think it was in here. Where was it?
Jesus Christ! Can this day just end? Ah,
You're not
Tiger's
suicidal, are you, Chad?
Now what, Bringer? Bad
Am I
news.
going to have to come bring you a warm blanket and milk?
Yeah.
Tigers
just
pitcher Matt Manning fractured the 5th metatarsal in his right foot on the comebacker at the end of his outing today.
crazy. But just like some of
Another
these
one.
here, another one bites the dust. But overall, because we like just overall some guys on on the list for Patrick Sandoval. He bumped up quite a bit. From what a lot of these projections were and whatnot. I
Are
thought
these
that
projections?
these were. I'm trying to remember exactly. I think these
Oh,
were
this is
some.
22. Okay.
Yeah. So I know I did
I
a
was like
different
this.
projection.
I'm
So I
like,
did a
Gambart
few.
doesn't have 346.
Yeah, I did some other projections in here too. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, these were from 2020. So I mean, you can see Otani. I know I have some other ones that I put on that I actually popped up here for this year because Donovan and we talked about some of them too. Because if you think about it, I had Sandoval this. Oh yeah, this was 2023. So Sandoval, look at he was they projected him at 311. And on this one, he was actually 67th, so 290. So I mean, you got an idea that he's going to have a few more points this year and whatnot. So I mean, it's a good aspect to have a take a look at. But
I agree.
I think we should probably wrap up. My ass has got to get to work. Chad, I appreciate you actually jumping in with us, giving us a few updates with some injury news and whatnot. But yeah, Eli, with your
Bad
last
day
quick
for
little,
injuries.
yep,
I will close a quick chapter, boys. Get your opinion. So Jay can get to work and everybody can wrap up their night. But I had to get this in here. I had to open the book. I had to open the book on the Sacramento Kings season. Congratulations, man! 18 years since they've been in the playoffs. Crazy. I grew up on a lot of the White Chocolate and Chris Webber and a lot of those Vlade Divac, a lot of those teams, and like I couldn't have imagined like the Kings would go that long with futility. But I got the number 3 seed in the West, 48-34. I think they're going to play the Warriors for their first matchup, 3-6 matchup. And I just think De'Aaron Fox, their point guard, he doesn't get a lot of pub. I mean, everybody talks about Giannis, everybody talks about Braun and all these other guys. 25 points a game. He shoots over 50% from the floor. Good assist numbers. I don't know. I just think he flies under the radar because there's so many good point guards in the league and so many guys that put up stats now. Devin Booker and all these different guys. So
that's a bonus being on the team.
Yeah, that helped out quite a bit.
Yeah, the bonus kid, he's great. I think they can. I mean, they're going to give the Warriors all they can handle. I mean, that'll be probably the best first round series of all the matchups. I mean, I'm looking forward to Kings Warriors for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in there because it's been a long time.
Two quick things.
Go Kings!
One, I don't like hearing this because it then means the Kings are now off the top of the list, and at the top of the list is now the Buffalo Sabres. That just makes me
When's the last time they made the playoffs, Chad? Enlighten us.
6?
Oh,
it's probably been a while since if he has to look.
2011.
2011.
And they lost in the first round.
It doesn't seem like that long ago. But I mean, 12 years is 12 years. I mean, that's a long time.
And they've had the first pick like a billion times since then.
You would think
they're like the Detroit Pistons right now.
Yeah.
The other thing is, will we be getting some?
How do you miss? It's like, how do you do this when over half the teams in the league make the playoffs? And the NHL,
this is the best part.
NHL,
they lead the fucking NHL like every year after the first month. They start out like 21-3 and then just fall apart.
Well,
every year.
That's what happens with.
Oh my God, the Sabres are actually good. No, they're not actually good. The other thing is, will the Book of Eli be jumping over to the USFL starting soon?
He probably
I,
will.
hey, that's what this segment's for, man. I can get into some random stuff. We can't, so who knows? Who knows what's coming up next? But yeah,
even
USFL
starts-
for sure. I'll
Is
have
that
somewhere
this
something
weekend?
about that.
It's opening games, or is it next weekend?
I think it's next weekend. These guys can check quick, but I'll get something in for that for sure.
Hopefully, the action will be a little better than the.
XF. Yeah,
this weekend.
We've tried to talk it up here, but I mean, the first season of the XFL, it's been terrible. I mean, I'm not gonna. Oh God.
The USFL probably a little bit better because
I don't even
it,
know. Let me quickly look up rosters.
Saturday on Fox.
Yeah, I know
it
they
is this
got
week, okay.
I know they got
20
the Breakers have
second.
one of my prospects that should be in the NFL draft this year. Maybe hopefully maybe a third rounder or day 3, maybe second or day 3. But the kid from ECU, Mitchell. So he is.
Oh, he's playing in the USFL.
Yeah, he's playing. He got drafted by the US,
Hell yeah.
the Breakers. Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Hell
And
yeah.
then did you guys happen to see quick that Lindsey got? I think he's with Seattle Dragons.
Yep.
Scored his first touchdown. Yep, which is crazy.
Attaboy.
Philip.
Right. Next thing you know, we're gonna have Cam Newton in the XFL.
Small things in life. We get excited for Philip Lindsay scoring an XFL touchdown.
Right. It's crazy. All right, boys. Well, Chad, appreciate you jumping in with us, giving us a little insight on some, giving us a little insight on some injury news while we were streaming tonight. It's always a pleasure that you're here with us. Eli, it was actually a pleasure that you actually joined us tonight. It's always a blast.
It was fun, man. I'd like to do some more baseball stuff with you guys for sure.
You should. You should.
Guys, keep teaching me stuff, man. I can get my 2 cents in, and this was damn good. And Chad, we ribbed Chad, but Chad's a wealth of knowledge, and so is Donovan. So I mean, if you guys want your baseball fix, and then get the entertainment of me, it's the best of both worlds.
So Eli, you might be more knowledgeable on this. So is the USFL now just a draft prep league essentially?
They actually
should have been. I think what Jamie's saying with Mitchell, I'll get into it when we have more time, but
I'm looking at the draft and it's all college guys now.
That's smart. It's because that's what we want. That's why we watch college football. Is we like high school football. We like prospects. Hey, this guy could pop in a couple years. He could be a household name. He could be a guy you're wearing this guy's jersey or your kid's wearing XFL, we look at it like AAF. We're looking at it like you weren't good enough for the NFL, or you washed out, or you know what I mean. They're always going to have that stigma, like you're not good. You're semi-pro. You're not good enough.
Yeah,
USFL. I think it's genius. I think this is what Jay. I think this is what these guys. I think this is what these leagues should have been doing for years. I think they should have gotten hey, there's a gap between when they're going to play. So why not slip these kids in there? I mean, they're young, healthy, 21, 22-year-old guys. Slip them in there for a couple months in the spring, get them extra reps, whatever that, I understand running back, you want to protect them a little more, but quarterbacks or tight ends, these guys could use the extra preparation out there. And I think it's smart. Get a good season, and you're getting television content, so you're making money for a network. I think it's a win-win. I'm interested to see this. I am.
Yeah. I did mention, I think it was on one of our shows too, and Chad must froze. I did mention on one of our shows that with the USFL, they actually they signed up with there was some company out there that they signed to look at these guys, scout these guys. They actually signed, so that these scouts actually have information for these general managers for these teams. So I mean it's genius. I mean now if the XFL can do something like that or whatever, I mean I think the XFL and USFL should combine and then make that one big huge league, because that would make everything right. I mean everybody would be in tune with that.
In your point, Jay, I know you got to get going to work, but you made a good point there. Or make it AAA. They've never done that with the NFL. They've always made like these leagues like you're less than XFL less than AAA. People love going to AAA games. I mean, when I lived in Louisville, I went to a couple. You know, like it's high quality. Like you have a mix. You have 30-year-old guys. You have 19-year-old guys. You have a mix of everything. You know, you have the prospects. You have the vets. Like yeah, you could easily combine these two so they're saved so that in 3 years they both don't fold and go under. I think that's a great idea too, but you get the best of both worlds. So you're getting veteran names like, okay,
Yeah.
this is a brand name. Like AJ McCarron was a really good backup to the NFL. He's a brand name. Philip Lindsay was a proven 1,000-yard back in the NFL.
Yep.
Name, and you combine that with guys like your boy Mitchell, who's a
Yep.
young up and coming guy who could
Yep.
be a 1,000-yard back someday in the NFL. So
Yeah, most
I like that.
definitely. Yeah, it is. And the other thing too is the whole pitch, with the AAA, these younger kids that are pitching now, they're used to these pitch clocks, and that was another thing too, that these younger kids are they know how these pitch clocks work. So when they come now that they're coming into the the big leagues, they know how these pitch clock works. So they're already
Yeah, that's a
adapted
good point.
to they're already adapted to stuff like this compared to a lot of these guys are.
They're
Yep.
Yeah, they're testing it on the minor they've been testing it for years is what they were saying for at different levels, single A, double A, triple A. Like NFL, same thing. It's like you're a test subject league, but they should model themselves more after baseball and less about because there's a big fan for there's big there's a lot of people that watch like the College World Series. Like that doesn't take away from the AAA, single A, double A. Like so there's the college and then there's the the kind of the minors and then there's the pros. So why not have college football have a league that is a combination of hey, there's a prospect here, this guy could pop with a 30-year-old veteran that washed out of the NFL and then have the NFL. So it's like three tiers, kind of like baseball does. I think that's where football could kind of take from baseball. Is I love the way baseball does it because there's, not everybody that plays for the LSU national champion baseball team is gonna, end up they might end up selling insurance. You know what I mean? And then everybody, not every double A prospect's gonna make it to the majors, but they can make a living. It's just different. I wish the NFL would kind of follow suit with these leagues so they don't fold because I get the impression like we'll be doing a podcast 2 years from now and like USFL just went under or XFL just went under, Vince McMahon died or so, or whatever, or the Rock sold it or whatever,
Yeah, most definitely. Any input quick, Donovan?
No, I just to comment on the pitch clock and that and comparing it. So right, you hit it right on the head. Like these guys, the younger pitchers coming up, they're used to it. That's why they're having no problem. Some of the older ones that can adjust, they're adjusting quick. But to go on to the football comment and having the multi-tiered leagues, the problem with the football is they get banged up so quickly. Not for long, right? NFL and hopefully having a minor league system, if you will, the USFL and such, that maybe it is just experimental, but not for a farm system. It works in baseball because they just have so many players and teams and affiliations. But for football, you're just going to get all those guys are going to burn out too. So we'll see. But
the way injuries are happening in the majors now, man, I don't know.
Clear out that farm system quick.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, guys. We appreciate everybody chiming in on the chit chat. Donovan, appreciate your time. Eli, appreciate that you're here. And Chad, appreciate you were here. So everybody, make sure you sub. Make sure you hit like and hit that nice little bell so you know when we go live next time. But yeah, make sure you join the Discord as well and all those nice
Twitters,
Twitters. Yes, there's a lot of that stuff. But all right, guys,
Donovan
we're up out of here.
Likes to tweet. He likes to tweet. Go like the Twitter. Go.
I'm a tweeter.
All right.
It's a gateway drug.
Right. All right. From Outer Rhythm, Spitting Seeds Edition. I'm Jamie. That's Donovan, and that's Eli. We are up out of here. Later, guys.